Yo, what's going on, guys? Look, it's Tristan here, back with another Hive video, another Hive team builder to go right before my Hive game. This is just a preset before I cut and go to the game. Nonetheless, I'm talking stupid shit here, so going to go into Hive information now. So this is week 5 against GoldLeafSnivy and the Rotterdam Restaurant. I actually had really fun time saying that. I didn't think I'd say it right the first time. So nonetheless, going into the team matchups here, he has Infernate, Florges, Drapion, Decidueye, Haxorus, Liscor, Exploud, Wheezing, Blastoise, Mega Aggron, and Poopon Bound. A couple things here. I love Mega Aggron. I think it's an amazing mon. Nonetheless, I have to beat it now, and so look at the rest of the team. I know that Hoopa could be scary, especially if it's Scarf. I know that, let's see, what else? Specs Exploud really scared me this game, and I was also scared of stuff such as maybe a DD Haxorus, depending on the set, rather, because if I lost my Mamoswine, I felt I lost the game. So, basically, when I looked at my team, I saw that Mamoswine was definitely the win con, especially with his team being like weak to a huge weakness to stuff like Mamoswine. So that's why when I go over here, let's look at my sets now. So what we have here is Lesser Mamoswine, Rip Owen, because Owen made me love Mamoswine with all my heart. So Lesser Mamoswine, hashtag Rip Owen. We have Life Orb, Thick Fat, standard kind of stuff with Earthquake, Ice Shard, Ice Cold Crash, and Knockoff. With this kind of set here, we have Max Attack Adamant instead of Jolly, with just Max Speed and a little bit in, like, a very, very little bit in Spadef. And so my biggest thing here is, why did I go Adamant instead of Jolly? And that is because, one, I don't care about speed time with Hoopa, because 95% of the time, if I'm going to click Ice or Earthquake or Ice Cold Crash or Knockoff versus a Hoopa, then I'm probably, if I lose that speed tie, I'll probably die anyway, and it's not something that's worth risking. Other than that, I did, like, nothing. His speed tiers are a little bit iffy, to the point where it's like I could run some speed in places and be okay, because when I look at it, it's like if he runs Choice Specs Exploud, if he runs Modest, then I'll outspeed that. And then like even Decidueye, like I don't outspeed max speed Jolly Decidueye, or Timid Decidueye rather, but I know that this is a huge thing that would be able to threaten him out. And this, like, even if I just want to go for Ice Shard to be safe, I know that I'm doing a huge amount of damage on it. So basically that's all for this Mamoswine set, basically. Stuff like Florges, it probably wouldn't outspeed, and yet I would be able to hurt it so bad. And other than that, just nothing else to really put. Yeah, didn't really have to focus on anything else. The Adamant also really helped in basically being able to 2-hit KO the Mega Aggron. So that's the biggest thing. But the thing, now we go on to my Alola Marowak, and this is the real set here, because it's basically the same exact set as my week 4 game. So basically, Thick Club, Rocket, Flare Blitz, Shadow Bell, Knockoff, Stealth Rock. The EVs are different though. If I do remember correctly, the speed is to outspeed the Mega Aggron. If it was like a little bit like no speed, I believe, or maybe 8 speed rather. And this, I believe, was also going to outspeed a Wheezing, possibly. I'm not super confident in that, and so don't be surprised if it wasn't. I know the main thing was for that Aggron. So basically 128 with max attack Adamant is going to be able to hit everything so hard. Like, there's not a good switch in for Flare Blitz on his team. It's like he just does not have one. His best one is Blastoise, and it does not take it at all. It takes about 50 anyway. So that's basically it. Going to move on here to my Drapion. Spadef Drapion with Black Sludge and Pursuit. battle armor to make sure I did not get crit, of course. Pursuit, Taunt, Toxic Spikes, and Poison Jab. This is the mono can't touch Mega Aggron set, but that's okay because I don't care about Mega Aggron. This is for Hoopa U because I did not want to lose to a Hoopa U, and this is one of the best sets I can have for Hoopa U. The only thing I cannot really take into consideration is like a Z Focus Punch, and so that would hurt a lot, or a Z any other move basically, like any other physical move, and anything other than that I could take, and I would happily Pursuit Trap it and be in a good position that way. Taunt was for stuff like Wheezing and Mega Aggron, making sure that I can't basically lose or let them set stuff up, or basically rocks, Toxic Spikes, or Will-O-Wisp. And this was also in case Gliscor came, so that I didn't end up having to deal with that too long unless he just straight up EQ'd me, which I'm pretty sure I lived anyway. This was also a semi-check to Decidueye on a lot of levels. And so basically that's that. Toxic Spikes, I saw that his defogger is Decidueye and Gliscor in the situation, and then he even has Blastoise. But if I could get Toxic Spikes on Decidueye or Blastoise, and he can't switch out anything, or he can't do anything to anything else. When he has stuff like Infernape Ginks, the chip from Poison on Infernape, Florges, Decidueye, Exploud, Blastoise, Hoopa U even, that stuff helps so much, and that's why I thought it was a good thing to have. And Poison Jab just for general purposes, really just stab and to hit Florges, because just in case I definitely need it to, I know I can switch this in and hit it with the Poison Jab for a good amount of damage. Moving on to my Tapu Koko here, we have Electrium Z Tapu Koko with Calm Mind, Roost, Thunderbolt, and Hidden Power Ice with 176 HP, 80 plus speed, so 80 timid speed, and the max special attack rather. And this was for basically just winning, because unless he was Scarf Hoopa or anything of that sort, then if I get to +1 with chip on anything else, I basically win, because Thunderbolt in Electrium Z Thunderbolt, so Gigavolt, Havoc, and Electric Surge at a +1 stab, like that's hitting everything so hard, and just getting +1, I knew it basically breaks his team, but I didn't. But basically that's it. Basically it for the set. 176 was to live a lot more hits, especially allowing me to roost up. I could use stuff like Florges, some sorts of Decidueye. I could even use Jolteon, and what else could I use? I could use probably Blastoise as a means of setting up. So knowing I had a good amount of setup options to use, I felt this was a really great set to bring against him. Moving on to my Flubber Dragon, I have Gudra with the AV Sap Sipper for Decidueye, basically with Ice Beam, Fire Blast, Sludge Bomb, Dragon Pulse, with a mixed defensive spread, because I want to make sure I could eat a lot of hits from a lot of things, and basically, yeah, nothing really. Ice Beam for Gliscor, Fire Blast for Mega Aggron, and and Decidueye, Sludge Bomb for Florges if needed, and Dragon Pulse for just general stab that could hit a lot harder than anything else. Then we have Edgelord Burb. I was debating on not bringing this, but I felt that I can anyway, even if he has stuff like Wheezing and Blastoise and Mega Aggron, because against the rest of the team it does really well against him. So basically I have Earthquake for stuff like Infernape and Jolteon. I have Ice Fang for Decidueye, Haxorus, and Gliscor. I have Iron Head for Florges, and I have Stone Edge for basically everything else. This is basically all I needed. The speed was to outspeed a Scarf Hoopa U, which would also allow me to outspeed a non-Scarf anything else on his team, even Jolteon. So basically that was the sets that I brought. Didn't want to do that, but this was the sets I brought. Really excited for the game, and I'll catch you guys there. So later. And we are back with the Hive Week 5 game versus GoldLeafSnivy here. And what he brought is the Wheezing, the Mega Aggron, the Jolteon, the Infernape, the Haxorus, and the Florges. So a couple things I would want to point out here is that he did not bring Decidueye, which I was kind of scared about in a couple different senses, but I understand he didn't because I actually have a lot of things that kind of scare him away as well with it. Like if I was a Choice Scarf Decidueye, then I could have been in a pretty bad position in terms of some mons such as like Coco probably, or Coco, Mamoswine, and Gudra. And then he also did not bring his Exploud, which is huge for me, which I absolutely love. And looking at his team, he only has one defog, which is Florges, and even if he does defog, that gives me a hell of a lot of momentum I could use with the right switch. And so really I look at the team and I figure seeing four very threatening things that could hurt me, I feel it was best if I let off with my Drapion to get those Toxic Spikes up. And he leads with the Wheezing. I just go for a taunt to make sure he can't do anything to me. And I go for Toxic Spikes here, I go for a taunt here. And this is when I realize that I can't do much I can't do anything defensively against this mon. So like I didn't like Heavy Slam plus Earthquake was gonna hurt most of my team. That's why with this next turn I felt it was best if I go into my Gudra here, and we just see that I take up those Heavy Slams, and now I go for a so we go crit for crit here. That it really hurt both of us, that's for sure. And so I go for my Fire Blast again as he goes for the rest. Good play on him. Make sure he gets up again. So I'm going to go for a Fire Blast here as he goes into his Wheezing. And it does a hell of a lot of damage, which is, you know, just that chip, nice 36%. So I'm going to go for Dragon Pulse, definitely get more percent off on this. And so he goes for Sludge Bomb. Luckily, he does not get the poison on me, which allows me to stay in still and get another Dragon Pulse off so that he is not safe at all. So I don't know why he didn't go in Florges there, but now he's going into Florges, and so it's poison. This gives me a very nice switch into my Marowak. So he goes for defog. At least the Florges is poison. He goes a long way in terms of making sure this thing keeps getting whittled down. And I'm just going to go for a Flare Blitz here. As we see, it does a hell of a lot of damage to this Mega Aggron. Like, oof, it did some damage. And Jake thinks that Jake thinks that Marowak is pretty garbage. So that kind of hurts Marowak's feelings. He wants to prove to Jake that it's a good mon. But we see that damage, and now I'm not being scared even of an EQ at the situation. I'm gonna go for my Stealth Rocks to make sure other things get hurt in the future of the game. So I'm just gonna go for Stealth Rocks, then I'm gonna go for a Flare Blitz again as he brings out his Infernape, and it does a hell of a lot of damage. What do you know about that? And it doesn't kill, which just means it's staying around. I could have stayed in, but I was scared of the Z move pop potentially, so I decided at this point it was just best for me to go out into my Gudra and let him go down to whatever he wanted to do, which was the Earthquake of the situation. So this next play, I decided if he is choice locked, I'm gonna go into my Aerodactyl. I could make him switch out, and I'm just gonna go for Earthquake here because nothing really wants to take it. And so I go for Earthquake. I don't kill the Mega Aggron because it's just that stupid. I'm gonna go for Earthquake again, make sure to knock it out because he can't do anything against me, which now leads to him bringing in his Infernape, which cannot kill me with a close combat unless it's a crit, which he does not get, and I just take this time to take out his Infernape, which is a huge threat to my Mamoswine. So that's really great to see it's gone. And now we see that he brings in the Haxorus, and he's going to go for the DD while I go for the Ice Fang. I do not get a flinch, I do not get a freeze, and he goes for a DD, which I look at the team now and I feel that my Drapion is the most expendable mon, which I'm just going to go and let it sack off to the Devastating Drake, which just allows me to bring in my Mamoswine right here and just Ice Shard it down, make sure it's dead, because it can't come in after rocks anyways. So now it's Jolteon and Florges, which leads me to believe there's no reason why I should switch out here. So I'll take this Shadow Ball with a decent amount of bulk still, and I'm going to Earthquake it all the way down. It's gonna not a Shuckle Berry is not gonna save you, my friend. So Shuckle Berry happens, and then Florges comes in. Me not wanting to risk anything and me wanting to save differential here is a big key in me making that switch out to Marowak, and which he's gonna go for Wish, and then Protect here, make sure it's almost at full after the poison rather. But then Marowak's just gonna do what's been doing all game and just break things. So this Florges was it was a roll to kill or not, but we see that this Flare Blitz happens and it is not in our favor, and he just ends up dying to the poison, and yet that is still a GG to GoldLeafSnivy. I would say that my offense really just overpowered him in this case, and this probably this a huge mistake he made was that he sent me this link and it was playing Mario and Luigi Dream Team. It was playing a song from it, and I was playing it during the game, and I felt so at ease, and it felt really great. So he probably messed up by letting me be at ease with that. And nonetheless, just kidding. It's a great song, by the way. It's a great song to have extended and to play in the background and stuff. It's really cool. Nonetheless, that's a GG to Snivy. Thanks for doing the game. It was really fun to be my first game. And yes, I said first game because I did my week 5 before my week 4. And so that's basically it. Going into week 6 now, I'm going to have a very different team than I did have beforehand. With what my week 4 and week 5 was, I'll go into it as soon as I can. And with that, that is the end of week 5 for me, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!